Hi everyone, I'm Kathryn Rossati and I am the author of Naturally Nic and Little Tales, Poems for Kids. And as it's coming up to the festive season, I just wanted to share one of the things that I really like to do. So I really like to make paper chains for Christmas decorations, but as I am also a writer and I love to make up stories and I like writing poems, one of the things I decided to do was to make story chains, or if you want, poem chains. And they look just like this. Like this is just a short one I made earlier, but you can make them any length you like. And I thought we'd just make some together. So, how we begin is we start by drafting a couple of lines of a story, or you can do a poem. And you can do this as an individual, or you can get the whole family involved, and maybe one person writes one line of poetry, and then the other person takes over and writes the other next line of poetry. Or if you're writing a story, the same thing. You write one line of a story, and then the other person writes the next, and so on. And these can be as long or short as you like. Because if you're writing short poems, you can build or put together several short poems to make an entire chain, or you can do one long story. Um, I usually, when I do paper chains, I usually try to attach them to my ceiling, but you could also put them around a Christmas tree or on a mantelpiece, assuming that you don't actually use your fireplace, because I wouldn't put paper by a fireplace, if you can help it. Um, but I thought it would be a lovely idea if you do use or decide to use paper chains to go around your Christmas tree, or a focal point in your home, that you could have this, lovely story or poem going all the way around it. So I started with mine by writing down my ideas on just a sheet of paper first, um, so that I didn't need to cut anything up and I could, just play with some ideas first. So these, I'll give you just an example. I did these very, very quickly, um, just to give you an idea of how I usually do mine. So I've got two poems here. They're only four lines each. So I've got Robin, bright against the snow, a cheerful sight on frosty morns. Gleefully he sings, notes puncturing snow flurries from here to town. And then I have tinkling bells and fruitcake, candles, ribbons, tinsel, and more. Merry guests bustling over during break. A festive postman knocks at the door. And so I then got a piece of paper, like an A4 sheet of paper, and I cut it into strips, like this way. And those were the strips that I then wrote my poems on, a line per strip. And then I just folded those up and looped them together, and that's how I made my chain. Now, in terms of topics to write about, obviously I've written about, so the first one is about a robin, which is a very sort of traditional figure that is on designs and motifs around December and the festive period. And then I've also in my second poem gone for other things, like decorations and food that is also associated with the festive period. Um, but you could, in fact, write about anything that you like. It's entirely up to you. So it can be Christmas or holiday themed if you'd like. It could be sort of you write about a memory of a past Christmas or something that you really enjoyed, or maybe your favorite Christmas film if you want, or you could make up an entirely new story or poem, whatever you like. Um, and so yes, you put your strips of paper um, together with your lines of poems on them, and then you eventually end up with your story or poem chain, and then you can decorate your home with your writing, which I think is very exciting. So thank you very much for joining for this very short video um, on one of the traditions that I enjoy, and yeah, as a writer and as someone who does love the festive period. Sadly, I don't have many decorations up just yet. I've been very busy, but they will be up soon. Um, and I hope you enjoy making your story and poem chains. Bye bye.